The head of the Colorado State Patrol says without luck, one of his troopers would not be alive today. That trooper was helping out a crash scene early Saturday morning on I-270. A suspected drunk driver slammed into his patrol car, forcing the trooper to jump off a bridge.
CSP released video of that moment, and we want to warn you, we are going to show a bit of it. But the trooper did survive. Here's 9 News reporter Steve Steger.
But I will tell you unequivocally, it could have been much, much worse.
You don't have to take the head of the state patrol's word for it. Look for yourselves. This is dash cam from a trooper's car as he was helping secure a crash scene on I-270 early Saturday morning. As Trooper Kevin Bagley was working on traffic control outside his car, a suspected drunk driver blew into the scene, first hitting the guardrail, then ping-ponging into Bagley's car. All the trooper can do to avoid being pinched is jump over that railing toward the South Platte River. A 30-foot fall, even scarier when you look at it in the light of day.
And he walked out on his own 2 feet, which is amazing to me. When you see, you go yourself and look at how far he fell and what he fell into.
With the trooper out of the hospital, his boss is using this experience to rail against a massive problem on Colorado roadways: drunk driving.
We got lucky, and I'm not willing to rely on luck. So what I need is everybody to lean into this issue.
Colonel Matt Packard says so far this year, 12 CSP squad cars have been hit on Colorado roadways, 3 of them hit by impaired drivers. In fact, on Saturday, Bagley was actually helping at the scene of another such crash. A suspected drunk driver had hit a CSP car moments earlier. 2 state patrol cars hit by drunk drivers within moments of each other in Adams County, where the most DUI crashes happen in the state.
It's not like we're resource thin there. Uber goes to Adams County, Lyft goes to Adams County, there's taxi cabs in Adams County, and there's a lot of people.
Packard says he hopes this crash is a wake-up call, not only for his department, but for all of us who use Colorado roads.
By the grace of God, today I'm standing here talking about patrol cars being hit and not people losing their lives on Saturday morning.
Now, Packard says the State Patrol already had a zero tolerance policy for drunk driving, but now he's ordering troopers to expand that zero tolerance for other dangerous behaviors like speeding or reckless driving. He says if you get pulled over by CSP, be ready for a ticket, not a warning. The department is planning enhanced DUI enforcement across the state now, Kim. But just watching that video, it's incredible to see that trooper was able to walk out of the hospital this weekend.
Really miraculous. And August, I think, is one of the highest times of the year when they say they pull people over for drunk driving. But the irony is they're the ones sending the warning and they're the ones getting hurt.
Yeah, you think about this situation in particular. So they responded to a crash initially that they thought was a drunk driving crash. They figured out it wasn't, but they were still clearing that scene. Then one suspected drunk driver hit a CSP car. Then Bagley shows up on scene to help try to control traffic. Luckily, no one was in that first car. And then this happens again. So just 3 potential DUI crashes. 2 of them, basically through investigation, they've been able to figure out may have been related to drunk driving.
Gosh. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. And we're glad everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. Let's look at downtown Denver. Alex, what are you feeling? Heat?
You know, it's a wee bit hot. I don't like to complain, but it's a little hot.
We could use maybe 5 or 10 degrees off of this, Kathy.
Not going to happen this week.
Okay.
Back to you. Oh, well, there's more to talk about here.
Because we're close to 100, are we not?
Yeah, we are.
We're
98.
about to kiss it.
98 in downtown.
Okay. That's
yeah,
close
I think we may have just touched 98 out at the airport too. Record for the date is 100 and average is about 90, so it is warmer than average, but this is not unusual for the end of July and beginning of August. It's just that this time of year we typically see that seasonal wind shift, the monsoon moisture flow, which brings in the afternoon clouds and sometimes rain on a daily basis. But this has been an abnormal year from start to finish, and so why would this be a normal July and August? We're tracking some isolated gusty storms. Unfortunately, these clouds, which look like they might bring rain, actually will produce wind and lightning and not the rain we need. DIA now 97 degrees this hour, 101 Lamar, 103 in Pueblo, 99 in Grand Junction, 88 in Steamboat Springs this afternoon. Heat advisories, as you can imagine, for excessive heat across the Central Plains and southern Colorado, Pueblo down to the New Mexico line. So pretty dangerous to be out for any length of time without adequate water and shade and shelter. Temperatures are trending up and the air mass is drying out. The humidity values in the teens, so before long, we'll be talking about fire danger again. All of the water from the spring and early summer has created a lot of growth with plants and trees and brush and bushes around the area. And when that dries out, we're going to have a big story on our hands, I'm afraid. So when we see thunderstorms that don't bring rain but bring lightning, it is of concern. We're tracking a few around Boulder, outside of Winter Park, couple of storms by Colorado Springs and Florence. Severe weather threat is low tonight. If anything, it's just going to be wind and lightning. That might be a problem. Storm Prediction Center does not have Colorado in the outlook for severe weather this evening. 1 or 2 high-base storms roll through, and then we clear out tonight. We do this all over again tomorrow. We're in the upper 90s right now. We'll drop 10 degrees by 10 p.m. and perhaps another 10 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe we'll be in the 70s by 10. But we might still be 80 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. So the summer heat is on. We are tracking those gusty storms. When's the next chance for actual rain and cooler weather? We'll talk all about that with the extended forecast that's coming up.
Kathy, thank you. So the city of Denver is opening an emergency operations center today as part of Mayor Mike Johnston's plan to address homelessness. Mayor Johnston made the announcement shortly after his inauguration. Johnston said the emergency declaration was necessary to speed up state and federal resources to address what he describes as the most significant issue Denver is facing right now. Under state law, the declaration can't last beyond 7 days without city council approval. City council is meeting right now. They'll decide whether to extend it or not. So far, it's unclear exactly how Mayor Johnston will carry out his plan.
A guilty plea from a former Douglas County bus driver to reckless endangerment a few months ago after he slammed his brakes on a bus to, quote, teach the kids a lesson. This was March 1st when Brian Fitzgerald brake checked his bus, causing at least 30 Castle Rock Elementary School students to hit the seats in front of them. According to our partner station, KRDO, Fitzgerald apologized to Douglas County school officials before they fired him. He was facing 30 misdemeanor counts of child abuse, but they were dismissed as part of the plea agreement.
Yellowstone National Park is investigating a deadly grizzly bear attack that happened just outside the park. A spokesperson for Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks says a woman's body was found Saturday morning on a trail west of Yellowstone. They believe the woman was out for a morning jog when this incident occurred. Authorities say her injuries were consistent with a bear attack, but they weren't sure whether she was preyed upon or maybe if it was just like a chance encounter. Park rangers are reminding people to always stay away from wildlife and carry bear spray while you're out hiking. In Ohio, a police dog mauled a black man during a traffic stop after he surrendered to authorities with his hands up in the air. We want to warn you, the body camera video you're going to see, it is disturbing. Ohio Highway Patrol only just released this video. An incident report says this is July 4th. Officers tried to stop Jadarius Rose for driving a tractor trailer with a missing mud flap. The report says after a lengthy pursuit, Rose pulled over and exited the vehicle. Body camera footage shows Rose standing in front of troopers with his hands straight up in the air. A Circleville, Ohio police officer can be heard telling Rose to, quote, go on the ground or you're going to get bit. Meanwhile, a trooper can be heard yelling multiple times, do not release the dog with his hands up. That's when the officer released the canine, which then attacked Rose. All the screaming is a bit rough. Sorry, guys. Officers eventually got the dog off Rose and provided first aid. Rose was charged with failure to comply with an order or signal of a police officer. He posted bond days later. Ohio Highway Patrol is still investigating this case, and Circleville police will not say if the officer who released the canine is still on active duty.
State health officials confirmed Colorado's first human case of the West Nile virus in 2023. The case was reported in La Plata County. West Nile virus has been found in mosquitoes in 7 counties across Colorado this season, including Arapahoe, Boulder, Delta, Denver, Larimer, Pueblo, and Weld. Experts say they're seeing more mosquitoes caught in traps this year. They say all that rain we had and the warm temperatures have created ideal conditions for them. To keep yourself protected, remember you always need that bug spray with DEET and wear long sleeves and long pants, especially in the morning or night. That's when they tend to be pretty active.
Some good news for summer bookworms. Several Denver Public Library branches are expanding their hours, and that starts today. The branches with hours expanding are Green Valley Ranch, Sam Gary, Rodolfo, Corky Gonzalez, Hadley, and Hampton Branch. They'll all be open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday through Sunday, and will be open an extra 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. one day a week, but that day a week will be different for each library. The rest of the week, those branches will be open the usual hours of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is all thanks to the Denver Public Library Fund, a voter-approved measure that gave the library an extra $32 million each year. To see all locations and hours, just head to the library's website. That's denverlibrary.org.